Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Time for yet another live stream. Let's just turn the camera on. Let's see what we got going on tonight. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I don't want Iris to scan. I just want to paint. Can we just paint? All right, cool. All right. So let's get us caught up to where we were last time on the feed. Man, and I have like so many. Oof. Many skin tones out right now. I'm working on skin tones. So I did the priming and a lot of the initial detail work. You know, I should actually start to repopulate my little cabinet here of paints. We'll get to that in a minute. So let me show you guys where we're at right now, and we'll get into it. Again, I apologize for the rumbling and the mess that you might hear as I'm rifling through all of these different paints. So I have this system where, I have a my permanent setup here room where I have all the paints set up, and then I take a subset of those paints whenever I do a local paint day. Things get a little messy, and then when I get back, I have to rearrange it all. But the problem is that everything that gets left behind, basically all the paints that get left behind, lay flat, like they all collapse down, and it becomes a little bit of a mess. And then so putting in all of these paints and trying to stand them up gets to be a little bit of a challenge, but we're going to do it. I'm just going to do it, guys. I apologize for, I probably should have done this before I hit start the stream, but this is what we're dealing with. You guys know, you turn into, whenever you're going to tune into this live feed, there's going to be some stupid delay, and you have to listen to me stuff like incoherently ramble while I'm trying desperately to multitask, and so that doesn't work out so well. So I guess while we're doing that, while I'm doing this nonsense, I can talk to you a little bit about what's been going on with me, what happened last week, and just kind of get you guys caught up on the highly unentertaining details of my life. All right. So from last week, I think I turned on the camera a couple nights ago, and I was drinking some sake, and I still need to drink more sake. I still have sake, but I'm not going to put you guys through that tonight. We're I got to work tomorrow. So, we're going to be on good behavior tonight and get some of this painting done. Had a day. I got to play a game of Malifaux with Mark. It was a Colette mirror match, which was interesting. And then after that, we jumped right into 7-player Scythe, which was cool and not so cool. And let me explain why. So Scythe is like the hot board game right now, and I think it's deserved. I think all of the hype around Scythe is pretty deserved. I mean, it's a really good, solid game. It's super entertaining. People who like board games, and it's got that kind of mass appeal between people who like resource control type game, but it's an American style game, meaning it's got high production quality. The miniatures are absolutely beautiful, and it's a fun game, right? It's not a miniature war game. And so that's why some people that, the people that actually really like War Machine and stuff like that, if that's what you're expecting when you play Scythe, that's not what you're going to get. So that I can see why some people find that a little disappointing. Another major criticism of Scythe is that have it doesn't have high dramatic points, and I actually agree with that criticism. Like there's only maybe a couple of crucial times in the game. You might get a game where there is a crucial that kind of dictates the last portion of the game. But a lot of times, like I've played like full pacifist games of Scythe where people don't want to engage in combat, and those games are fun. They don't arc. They don't have. It's not a lot of high tension in those games. It's more of like, well, I'll build around you. You can build around me, and we see who did a better job, who was more efficient at that by the end of the game. And that's a valid way to approach the game, and people play it that way. So I can see that as a criticism, but again, as long as you're having fun, who cares, right? I mean, I hate single D6 systems, but I'll praise Blood Bowl up and down all day long because it's a single D6 system that really makes excellent use of how tense that die rolling situation is, and being able to play around it and not, play against the idea of wanting to roll a die. It actually turns that it takes what I consider to be a bad mechanic on paper and turns it into a really exciting. So anyway, so we played 7-player Scythe, and it was cool in that everybody that played really had a good time. Was really jazzed about getting the chance to finally play Scythe, because a lot of them are saying, hey, I heard a lot about this game. I'm glad you brought it. Let's play it. The downside, though, was because we had 7 players and 5 out of the 7 players were all brand new, that the game, that we really only got to maybe, I'm going to say 30% of the game. We only got about the first, what I would consider the first third of the game. We had 2 people make it to the factory. We were starting to get to the point where people were starting to understand that they needed to have combats as part of their strategy. There were, I think, the high score, we had a player who had out. So you can see we were only like a third of the way through the game. But what was cool about that is, now that those players, those other 5 players are broken in, I told them, hey, I'll be there next week, and we'll just set up a game, and things should go a lot faster. And we can use the extended board. We've got the metal coins, all the other cool little add-ons, the cool little sweet bonuses for Scythe. And so that was the cool part. That was the good part about, launching straight into a 7-player game, is we have new players. So when we start, so now, if I make it down to board game night at the LGS, I have people that already know how to play Scythe, and they're going to want to play Scythe. And so, I just throw the box in my car, and even if I don't want to play Scythe, I can have them kind of set up and play games, and I can play miniature games, and then just kind of hang out and watch other people enjoy the game. So it's good for me. I just want to have more fun gaming experiences, and I want to play. I want to make the best use of what time I get when I do play. So having more side players is awesome. Obviously, I would love to have more Guild Ball players. I would love to have more miniature games players, but at the same time, you can't because it's Thursday night. But if I did, if I Tuesday, which has been on my mind recently, it's like, why not go back to Tuesday? Thursday gets too crowded, and you've got guaranteed space on Tuesday because it's a miniature game night. Why not go back to Tuesday? So it's so anyways, that's what's going on with me. And meanwhile, I got almost all my paints back where they belong. All right. I was going to sing that really weird old, what was that? I want to say it's a late 70s, maybe early 80s song. You know what I'm talking about. Love Lift Us Up, Where We Belong. I don't know how old the people are that are watching this right now. But anyways, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting. I am just doing a little cleanup, and I swear to you, we're going to get into some more of this Guild Ball stuff that we started, that we built the other night. All right, look at that. And I can actually put some of this away too. Look at that. Oh, it's coming together, this little plan here. It's so good. Okay, look at that. All right. Whoop. Big old cabinet full of paints that I will have to rifle through momentarily here to get at what we want. Oh, boy. Okay. So here's the 4 miniatures, the Guild Ball miniatures that we started the other night. I'm going to try to get these names down because I don't know any of these names. Let's just look at them. This is Skatha. Let's see if we'll just play around with the. Okay, we get it. Norton 360 is looking at stuff. So here's her skin. I'm not sure. I may actually go a little more pale with her skin. We'll see how she goes. I mean, I don't want her to get too washed out, but you can see she kind of has these like characteristic. She has a really characteristic face and like a big round forehead. You know, she's got like almost like a Tyra Banks 5 head going on there. And you got Hearn. You know, he looks very similar to the other Hearn, except he's missing a foot, and he's holding different stuff. So I'm gonna paint up Hearn there. He's a really cool sculpt, by the way, just super fun. Then we got Ulfer. He's kind of like gray looking. I'm not sure I want him to be gray looking because he just looks cool. He's like super cartoony looking, and he's got, I don't know, like he's almost like stone skinned. Is that? I haven't read the fluff. Is he supposed to be stone skinned? I don't know, but he's gonna be. I'm gonna paint him fairly like bright normal, and then you got Snow. Snow is white. I give him an ink wash, and I'm gonna give him a dry brush. That's actually the first thing we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna give Snow a dry brush, and I'm going to take focus down to there so that you guys can see what's going on. With my, okay. So I can tell, it looks like my live feed is a little bit choppy. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe it's the local LGS thingamabobber. I can't even talk tonight. Whatever. Okay. So you take a little dragon white and a dry brush. It's not a bad dry brush. Yeah, it's not bad. I want the rounder dry brush. Like this style dry brush is a little bit better. So once again, if you're just tuning in, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting. Tonight, painting some more hunters. Hunters are really kind of busy models too. Okay, so just gonna take some white. Actually, you should probably do a little bit of gray, but that's okay. Let's do a little bit of white. Got so much stuff to paint right now. But this is for a client, so so my attitude is I always do what's required of me work first, work. I like to do work before play. So we're giving this a real light kind of dry brush. I mean, this model in the art is just bone white, and we don't want it. We don't want Snow to be bone white, but we do want him to look like Snow. So it'll look a little washed out, but that's okay. I'll have good definition. Hey, what's up, Gata? Welcome to the feed. All right. I mean, the wolf thing will be done in very, very quickly. Okay. And so the rest of these are gonna kind of be, we got to think about our scheme here. So that's going to be kind of gold. She's going to have, her studio art kind of has like a gray blue. So we'll see. Go where the wolf. Don't eat the yellow snow. Do I need this? I think I need this further up. I don't know. Actually, I need the camera to be a little bit lower or closer to me so that I can paint without having to bring my hands too far forward. So I think if I do this and get the camera to there, that's pretty good. And in fact, let's do that, and let's bring the camera in so we can see. All right, so we're going to bring much better so you guys can actually see what's going on. I know it looks super blurry right now. Whoa, look at that. Oh, right, is that good? It's much better. Okay, I'm happy. Are you guys happy? How do you store and organize your paint collection? I'm getting overwhelmed by the volume. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. I do not have a good answer for that. I wish I did. All right, let's, all right. Yes, let's save that. Okay, so we're zoomed in, so we should have a pretty good view of what we're doing. It's going to be upside down on your screen. I apologize for that. It's just how we're going to do it. Okay, so the shorts and that stuff, it looks like they're going to be blue. There's actually a thing of beauty right here. Brand new brush. They're so nice when they're brand new, right? Wow, this wet palette got trashed. That's okay. So I guess that should be like dark blue. Her hair will be white, but she's going to be more winter colors than the other miniatures. So dark blue, maybe some. I do want to do a little bit of green, just so that probably. Actually, we can even just do that instead of dark blue. Just do it green, and then leathers and that kind of stuff. Let's do that. That way we can keep some continuity with the rest of this guy's hunter team. Because I painted his hunter team, so military green is too dark, but let's do it. Military green. And I'm gonna need like the mid-tone green. Intermediate green is good. Then we're gonna need some like grays and browns. I do need a yellow ochre. We're gonna need a lot of different browns. That's too dark. We're also gonna need grays. Here's a gray. There's a gray. No, that's black, but we also, no, we don't need black. Yeah, I wish I had a good way of filing these away. Honestly, it wouldn't be too terribly difficult for me to do that, but lazy and bad at stuff like this, so my saving grace is that I'm painfully honest about it. It's not really saving grace, it's just I just know I'm bad at this. Reflective green is actually better. No, it's all right. Intermediate green's fine. Where's my heavy green? I have a... There it is. So we're going to need heavy green. I need that cat to shut up, the one that's outside crying. It's a good brown. And I need like an Iraqi sand analog. This aged white's pretty good. It should work pretty well. IAF sand, also really good. All right, let's do this. Okay. Wow, so our viewers went way up and then way down. Not really sure. I'll get you guys closer here. Okay. And I gotta find a neutral gray. It's like fairly important that I find a neutral gray. Here's a cold gray. That's a cool gray. When did I buy that? That is a cool gray. We're going with it. Okay. So let's do some hood work here with the green. So I like to have this green on all of the hunters because, oh shoot, it's what, as a team and as a guild, so we're gonna, Scatha here will have still like way too far up. Better. Okay, there we go. I had this really nice Winsor Newton size 1 brush that I broke out for paint day, and it disappeared, and I'm super bummed about it because it was really nice. I mean, it held its point for a Winsor Newton, which I love. It was even a good brush, relatively speaking, there. This model just gets so busy, man. Okay. All right. And then this whole area down here will also be green. And these little shorts will also be green. Right? So those will be green. The rest of this will be grays and browns. I guess I could do the boots green too, like the moccasin color. Actually, what the green I'll do here will be on the feetses. So she'll do green feet, which will be nice because it'll match with the ground cover that I'm going to paint. Yeah, in fact, let's... Oh. Got a lot of tears. Sometimes you just got to paint in little tears. Then you can paint in the rest of it. Right? And let's come in with the green here. So I need to go watch Stranger Things because the miniature of the month, Comic Quest Mini of the month, is from Stranger Things. And it looks, I thought it was just a crappy miniature, but it's designed to look like it was a, sculpt from the 1980s where they didn't have the kind of ability to cast and mold the stuff that they can do today. So it doesn't look nearly as cool. A little green here on Snow. And I'm just doing the straps. That's the only green Snow really needs. All right, so you can tell that this dog is with the Hunters Guild. Because these are the winter moon or whatever, they are going to get snow bases. Okay. Tabletop Combat has nice MDF paint racks. Thanks for the tip to that. Although I will warn that I'm super, super lazy, so only so much of that I will actually do. I didn't even finish painting the gold effects, or the things that I want gold on Ulfra here. Because I do a light brown, and then you'll see what I do. I have a thing. That I do. Got that. And I realize is holding this knife wrong. This knife is incorrect. It should be underneath his other arm, but I screwed that up when I was building these, so sorry. I think it looks kind of cool though, with the two knives off to the side like that. I'm just making excuses. Well, certain parts of Ulfra will be green, but not much. I mean, his studio art, he doesn't have much of green anything on him. He doesn't just. I mean, he's fairly naked, just not wearing a shirt. I don't know what's going on there. Well, we'll make that kind of a green strap. I think that's probably where the arm is supposed to attach. These are super fun sculpts, so I noticed that they got like the new Guild Ball sculpts seem to be a lot more cartoony. They're a lot more exaggerated than they used to be. One stuff is fairly understated. It's fairly normal looking stuff, and now it looks like, Steamforged is really kind of developed a look or an aesthetic that it likes, and is just kind of going with it, which is awesome. But man, so many ripped clothing. You're painting and you're like, oh man, I need to go back and fill in this gash here because it's skin. There should be exposed skin under there. Okay, is there any other green this guy needs on him? He's not, like I said, he's not going to have much green. But we'll do the color blocking. I feel like he actually has a bit of green on him, like more than I thought. He has a bit more clothes on him than I thought initially. Okay, it's not bad. Just do that green too. Hearn should have a fair bit of green on him. Because his season 2 model had a lot of green. Like, project for tonight is the new GW starter box. Oh, are you talking the 40K stuff? Cool. Very cool. So that'll be green. I'll paint his gloves green. And his pants will be green. Yeah, he's going to have... This dude's going to have a lot of green. Once these guys are painted, I'm not sure what my project for the rest of the week will be. If I go, I'm probably not going to go back to, what's it called? Mansions of Madness for a little while. Instead, I will take a detour through Night Models. I want to paint up some Watchmen because I think that would make a cool way to get myself back over to Batman would be to team. And then who knows, if I don't like them, I'll just turn around and sell them, paint all the Watchmen. Because I painted that Ozymandias the other day. And now I'm like, oh man, that was super fun. I want to do more. And my LGS had the rest of not all the Watchmen. They're actually missing Rorschach. So I had to go back and I picked him up on eBay. Okay, what else is green? This tabard is green. And I guess we'll make this we'll make the boots green. So, looks like it's going to be a fairly quiet night. So if you guys have any ideas for what type of topic you might want to hear me ramble about, not that you want to hear me ramble, but if you did, the time to throw a question or two out there, get me talking about something, and then, all good stuff. All right, there we go. Yeah, if I should just do a whole bunch of green on Theron. Like if I should do the pants green too. Probably could. I mean, probably look pretty good if I did. Yeah, it probably would. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That way we just kind of wipe out all the green. And at the same time, the model looks a little more coherent with the rest of the team. And when I say rest of the team, I'm talking more the season 2 starter. Because if I recall correctly, I painted a lot of green on this team that the client owns, that he's asked me to paint this expansion for. Okay. So there's the green down. Then I need to do a brown, essentially. There's got to be like browns that go. Let's go with let's go with two types of browns. Let's go with that brown, and let's go with like this taupe brown. And this Reaper brown is a pretty versatile brown, kind of like beige brown, which I use for a lot of different stuff. So the way I've got her, she's got a lot more, other hunters. She's got the other hunter scheme, essentially. She should look cool, though. I'm going to paint her weapon here. This beige brown. At least just the handle of her weapon. I guess the other major color should be a gray. Let's do this cold gray. Let's do the furs more like a gray. What would you recommend for aged weathered copper? I would do. I would fade from like this, like a really deep brown here, and then go towards the top end would be yellow ochre. So you're going to want to color between those two. Want to do a sepia like type ink wash, and then highlight, up to like a Iraqi sand or something like that. I have a crazy hangnail on my pinky. One sec. Yeah, because I'll show you how I do the little Hunters Guild symbols and all the not exactly gold detail work on these models. Let's do a cold gray. I need, oops, too light. I need a neutral gray. More neutral gray. And the neutral gray is a little light. That's okay. So I think we're going to do similar to what we did with snow on these furs, is we're going to go, they're going to be gray essentially, but different areas where they blend into different colors. So right now my primary concern is getting them blocked out. So let's do that first. Let's get all those colors blocked out. So as opposed to the regular hunters that have more brown furs, we're going to do more gray furs on these, just to give them more of a wintry look to them. And of course, my cat's still crying out there. All right, let me let this kitty in. He's upset. He is upset. So this cat has like his own like sleeping area here. He has his own bed in this room, so hopefully he will go to that. And not wreck the room at the same time. We'll see. We can hope for the best. No, just like that, he wants out. Wow. Okay, cat. Don't come in if you don't. Get out. Yeah. All right. Let us keep going here. And then for the undertone of the bone, this is going to be this like gray green is going to be the bone base color. It's like I said, we're going to get this whole model blocked. Really start to work on it. There's just so many like little details. I already did it, didn't I? These models are so busy. I gotta make sure that when we do her hair, that it's nice and white. And she has like, animal skulls on her shoulders, and blade thing here is a bone. Right? It's going to be super upside down. Hope you guys, let me know if this is, like, if you guys find it really annoying to watch me paint upside down, I will just straight up go back to the old setup where it's kind of off to the side. It's just so much easier for me to paint this way, though. know. Maybe I'll film painting videos this way, and then just flip the screen when it comes to, so you guys don't have to deal with the fact that it was recorded upside down. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so let's do Theron here. So we got all kinds of like grays here to do for Theron. Actually, I need a bigger brush to do this. So I'm going to move up to a size 2, or is this a 3? I forget. Can you flip while live? I don't know. I can try. Let's see. Got nothing to lose, right? We're going to need a bigger brush. That's right. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Let's go to... There should be a control panel. How do I... Hold on. Maybe I do it... Settings. No. Can't do it from here. Wait, what's this? Screen share, chat, cameraman, control room, cameraman. Let's see. What does this cameraman do? Cameraman does not allow me to do anything cool. All right. What about control room? Allows me to do nothing also. These are all really, really good things. Let's try, let's go back here. Hope you guys can hang out for a minute while we try to figure this out. Let's see. Okay, so if I go to live streaming, and if I go to Painting Guild Ball Hunters expansion, and if I go to live control room, live chat. Stream status is okay. Current frame rate is too high. Hey man, I don't know how to change that kind of stuff. This is the live control room. This does nothing. This doesn't... Ah. Oh. Fine. Okay, sorry. We tried. Doesn't look like you can do that. Anyway. Yeah, it's going to be upside down. Actually, if I just do this and show them to you guys that way. Well, like, you guys need to see the very edge of my desk, but you don't need to see my fat gut there. So, yeah, that's pretty good. So I can do that. Like, there's certain parts I can paint upside down. I don't think that really gets at the heart of what you guys want, but I guess it's better than nothing, right? This model is just gigantic. Well, let's get him all color blocked. Love this model's pose. I can hear him yelling, "The power of the moon compels you." Very exorcist. I'm not drinking sake tonight, Canvas, but welcome to the feed. Yeah, sorry to disappoint, guys. We're not drinking sake tonight. Got to go to work tomorrow, so we're just painting more of this stuff. Do what is most comfortable for you. Thank you. We will. We will do what is most comfortable for me. I will say this. The fact that you got these 4 models out of a $40 box makes this a steal for anybody that's for anybody that is looking to have this commission painted by me, because that only costs you $40 to get these models painted. As far as my rates go, that's cheap. So Guild Ball is kind of making my life a little tougher, but also a little better, because then commissions become more attractive to people based on the idea that they can get stuff done for fairly cheap. All right, so now let's start in with this brown. And this, we're going to use this brown for these bracers here. So I hope I can play some Guild Ball this week. That'd be awesome. I'm by the way, I put my Alchemist team back up on eBay. Starting bid, I think I set at 150, which is crazy, because that's now 150 is a good, it's the entire Alchemist roster. So if you bought the entire Alchemist roster retail, you'd be out, I think, around 230, 240 bucks, right? For retail. So this is 150 as the opening bid, and it comes with the Alchemist dice set and the season 1 tokens. So there, and 150 opening means that I'm I basically have it at 50% off right now. 50% off of retail for a fully assembled and painted Alchemist team. Again, with dice and tokens. So I don't know about you, but I think that's like, if I didn't paint, I wanted a Guild Ball team, like that's a good freaking deal, man. And I don't think there's a lot of watchers on it right now either. So you got that going for you too. So I'm just saying, like, that's what I got going on eBay right now. I need to move that team. There's other games I want to play, and Alchemists were fun, they're just not fun enough for me to keep. So, you know, and then, yeah, okay. So, Mike, if you're interested, like, if you want, dude, just shoot me an offer and we can do like local delivery or whatever. We can figure it out. But yeah. Um, so I just thought I would plug my team. That's going to help me actually um, pick up some other stuff that I'm interested in owning. It's out there crying again. What a jerk. But yeah. Oh man. Yeah, this brush is not nearly as good as the one that I think someone stole it from me my last paint day. That sucks. Hopefully they didn't. Hopefully someone's like, oh look, I have it, and they bring it back to me. That was a really nice size one. And this size one's okay. It's not behaving as well as that one did. So whoever has my brush from the last paint day, please bring it back. What's up, dude? What's up, Cameron? Get him. Just finish the color blocking on him. Getting there, getting there. And then here's the very skeletonal things. These like little bones and fur and all this stuff on them, which is kind of cool. But frankly can get annoying when you're trying to paint them super fast. Because you got to stop and do a bunch of detail work on a skull or something like that, or a bone. Like this is a. I love that this weapon is a jawbone. The Moon Hunters, though. I played some of these guys against some of these guys. I think it's really interesting what that extra ball that they can make is pass around to each other for momentum. That's kind of cool. That gives them at least like an efficient turn one if the opponent has this, if the opponent has received the ball, but they don't want to give hunters any sort of targets, so they don't really leave the line, then the hunters can, they can use that first turn advancing and gaining some momentum and try to gain some momentum, maybe first turn. All right. So now we got this guy. I love this guy's facial expression. Here, let me do it this way so you can see it. I love his facial expression. Just, he's just so angry. He's awesome. All right. Now this guy also is going to have a lot of. Oh, I need more green. Wait, no, that's not green. That's going to be all gray, isn't it? I think his pants are gray. I'm doing green boots on everybody too. Snow's passively also really damn good. Oh, you guys are talking about some other game. Cool. To be back painting this stuff though. Kind of took a little hiatus. I am painting some night models. Oh, like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with night models because the sculpts are just so damn cool, and then you have to put them together. And you realize just some asshole from like 1994 decided how to break up the miniatures and then how you're supposed to reassemble them. And it's not fun. It's not good. These Guild Ball models barely stay on uh, um, my holders here. Like I've got to physically, they're so heavy, like they're so dense, I have to physically hold them down. But yeah, Snow's O-Ball can turn around a game so damn fast. Loving the new hunters. Sweet. He's got some good love, it looks like, and people that were down on hunters last season are now excited to play them this season. I'll tell you, I'm also excited to. I got to pick up at some point. Not a rush thing for me, but at some point I got to pick up Grace and Benediction because Benediction is like such a cool mini, and Grace has some really cool rules. So I'm down. Just going quick, man. Color blocking is fast, anyways. You should be able to color block nice and quick. Oh, that's another green. This model has a lot more bits to it than the um, the studio art would have you believe. Studio art just makes him look like just a gray blob, like he doesn't have skin is gray. But here I'm running into all kinds of details on this dude. Pretty sweet. Those are the Assassin's Creed, yes. Religious Union, yes, they are. They look pretty awesome. With me playing uh, Season Brisket this season, it's a nice excuse to beef up my union. And both of them have essentially arc node ability, right? They can extend uh, the range of teammates' plays, or in some cases their own plays, out to other sides of the field wherever you have friendly guild models. So, for example, Grace has a heal. She's got like a ranged healing play, and her ability allows it so that you can draw line of sight for this play from other friendly guild models, which makes it super powerful. So you're talking, the similar kind of healing power that a Hemlock has, ability to extend it out into the field. Pretty sweet. guy's got like almost no brown on him. I played against Seasoned Brisket. She's really scary given the right scenarios. I got schooled pretty hard with against Seasoned Brisket. Playing against another pundit who he took Seasoned Brisket and missed, which is fairly disgusting scoring options all over the board. And then you back that up with, Harry the Hat. I guess if you were going for like full power, you would go Seasoned Brisket, Harry the Hat. You'd probably go Mist. I think you'd want to go with Grace. And if there's room, and then your mascot, probably Coin. I was going to say, optionally, you can take Avarice and Greed. And this character has super dark hair, so I'm gonna paint some black gray as his hair. And I figure right now, with the big brush out, we might as well do colors down on the basing as well. Where's the black gray? So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight's subject are the Guild Ball Season 3 Hunters. And they're looking pretty cool. I'm excited. I do think these are going to look cool when they're done. And with Guild Ball models, when you give them a decent base coat, they're going to look cool. There's really not. Like, this guy already looks pretty cool. There's not much done on him, but you can tell he's going places, this guy. Ulfr. Someone want to tell me if I should be painting Ulfr's skin to look like stone skin, because that's what it looks like in the studio art. Or if I need to be going more pale with Scatha. Wow. Well, isn't that weird? Okay. I really like what Steamforge did with Ulfr. Comical and cartoonish proportions. I debated going pale skin on him. All right, so so you guys seeing what I'm seeing? This guy looks like American Dad to me. Dun, 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 dun. He does look like American Dad, doesn't he? kind of hilarious. I think it's kind of cool. American Dad Ulfer. Oh my God, it does. Damn, if I knew that going in, I could have painted a whole American Dad themed Hunters team. Especially the way I painted him. He does look like American Dad. Or a barbaric tick. This is also true. All right. Let's let's get a few colors down on the base right now. So, and I am super haphazard when I do the bases, when I do these forest floor bases, because I just want the colors to shoot. I forget. You should have, it needs to be brown right there on his peg leg. Don't have alien mascot or the fishbowl. Well, here's the thing. You could do the fishbowl like the snow. That could be a fishbowl. Like you could, what's that guy's name? Klaus? Yeah. You could do that fishbowl. You could do, obviously you could do Maxine and what's her name as the female models. I forget the alien's mascot's name. I forgot his name. The alien kind of, oh, Roger. Yeah. Roger kind of drives me insane. Like, I just don't think his bit is that funny. But you could do like J Car as Roger. That would be kind of funny because he's a bald dude. And you could do Chaska like the daughter's boyfriend. That'd actually be super funny. If you just did American Dad Hunters. Like that should win you like best best team at a tournament. You show up with a team like that. So you can see I'm just kind of haphazardly mixing browns and greens and stuff on the base. Because I mean there's going to be green on, like it's going to be, these are going to be forest floor bases, but they're also going to be wintry bases too. So I need a super dark brown. I need like a chocolate brown. This is a good brown, German camo brown. Egret can be Francine. Glad we're all in on this. Oh, I need to find basalt gray. There it is. I'm gonna use that for the rock, the wolf's rock. The wolf is almost done. I'm just going to mix a third brown in here. Yeah, so tonight this weekend we did I did pretty much all family stuff. Uh-oh, what's that? Pretty much all family stuff. Took my boys to like a dinosaur thing on Saturday, and then today we went to the Tustin chili cook-off. It was okay. It was kind of fun. Freaked the shit out of me though. Like I was cook-off, and we took our boys to the there was a park nearby with like a little jungle gym and all that stuff. So they were playing there, and my wife and I see this young lady, she was like a young mother, and she's walking around, kind of just looking around. And she calls out her son's name. Her son's name was Darwin. She's an Australian girl too. It's like Darwin, right? Darwin. And she's calling out for Darwin. She's calling out for Darwin. And my wife and I are watching this lady, and we both see like her turn, right? We both see like her calling out for her son, and then having that just suddenly just get stricken with terror. Can't find her kid. And for me, that's like the most scariest shit in your entire life. Like, you don't know true fear until you're a parent lost your kid for the first time. I lost Octavius a couple years ago at it was like a community Halloween thing, and my son was crawling through these like boxes. They have these like, it's like little box maze, and you go in one side and then you come out the other side, but you can't. It's too small. You can't see your kid while he's doing that. So there's always a little bit of fear. So I put him in one side, and then I'm waiting for him to come out the other side. Waiting for him. He doesn't show up, and I'm like digging boxes, and part of the reason was some bigger kids showed up, and because I always got to blame it on other people, right? So these like bigger kids show up. They're like 9-10-year-olds that should not be crawling through this thing, right? These are like, we're talking about, think about like your little moving boxes or whatever, right? And then like taping a bunch of them together in a maze and then letting kids crawl through it. It's supposed to be smaller kids, and probably should be going through there should probably be like 5-6 years old. Most of the time it's like little toddlers going through. So anyways, he goes through one side, and these kids, they crawl through the other side. And so they go in through the exit. It's supposed to be like a one-way thing, right? That way everybody knows your kid's going to come out the other side. These little pricks go through the wrong side. They start pushing their way through all the little kids that are in there. So I'm looking for my kid, and I'm ready to start like fucking up some kids, man. Like if I can't find my kid, and some sick bastard has like run off with my kid or some shit like that because these stupid punks forced him out the wrong way, I'm gonna fuck some shit up. I'm gonna tell you right now. Anyway, so I'm like tearing through these boxes, like just like I freaked out, like tearing through the boxes, like yelling my son's name. There's all kinds of terror. I'm like ready to like pick up some 10-year-old kid and like body slam him and shit. And, like, listen to some rules. What the hell's the matter with you? Like, why you got to ruin lives? This whole thing. And and I'm looking around. There's like a look of terror on my face, and I finally I turn around and my wife is on the other side of the, this like indoor thing. Son made it, like, he got forced out the wrong way, but he was smart enough, like he found his way over to mom, right? That fucked me up pretty bad, right? Just going through the mental and emotional exercise of not being able to find your kid, that fucked me up pretty bad, right? So anyways, fast forward back to today, and we're looking and we see this, we see this young mom, and we see her face turn. Her face turns to that like absolute look of horror. And it's the worst fucking thing in the world. It is the worst thing in the whole world. She can't find her kid. My wife, we have our two kids, like, just playing on the ground there. My wife springs up and she runs to this lady who's like also talking to the cops, and the security at this thing. By the way, this is the Tustin chili cook-off, so there's all kinds of like, there's all kinds of people there. It's a mix of families and then like broskies that show up to like get drunk and that kind of shit. So, and you have security, you have like actual police there, and you have then you get like the rent-a-cop types that are there as well. And she's talking to the police and the security. My wife runs over there. What does your son look like? And she just goes to work. She's like, starts combing the field. She's running around screaming this kid's name, Darwin, right? Darwin, Darwin. And they're screaming, and people fan out. These security and the cops just look like they couldn't even be bothered. That pissed me off too. Like, they didn't even look like, whatever. This lady lost her kid, whatever. Like, they couldn't be bothered. And that was pissing me off too. So anyway, we don't know what the hell happened. Like, we want to believe that they found Darwin. We want to believe that he's okay. I don't know. It's still messing with us a little bit. Like, Lizzie came back and she's like, Octavia, do you think he's in the restroom? And I went over to the restroom. And here's the thing. Here's the other weird thing with this too, because like this has really messed me up. So I'm walking around this playground looking for little boys that can't seem to find their parents. Like, how fucked up is that? Like, I look like the predator now, because like I'm like looking around like, oh, that little boy found his dad, and that little boy found his parents. And so I go into the men's room. So I'm using the men's room, and I noticed there's somebody in the stall. And again, like all the Law and Order SVU that you've watched in your life is suddenly flashed back in front of you, and you're just replaying awful things. But and so like I knock on the door and I say, Darwin, are you in there? And the person in there, decides not to respond, because I wouldn't, like, if I was taking a shit in there, I wouldn't respond. Someone knock on the thing and say, hey, Darwin, you in there? I don't know. I don't know. I might not say anything, or I might say no, fuck off, or something like that. But anyways, he wasn't in there, I guess. But yeah, man, I just felt like it messed me up. It messed me up, and I was like walking around like looking like I was the predator too, because I just wanted to help find this little boy. And I want to believe that they found him. I hope so. I hope they found him. I hope those asshole security people like stepped up and did their effing job. It was shocking to me. There wasn't this spring to action. Like, when you're a major city, and you have an event like that, you're supposed to have an emergency contingency plan, right? I mean, that's what I always thought. I thought that you're supposed to do that. If you're going to organize a community event, you got to have some shit like figured out. Like, what do we do if there's a missing kid? How do we fan out? What kind of checkpoints do we have? And they just didn't look like. If I was that mom, like, I would have just be shitting bricks. And I hope she found her kid. Like, that's just, it's still messing with me. Still messing with me. Anyway, so we did that, and we got home, and my wife and I convinced ourselves that this kid was found, and we still want to believe that. And then we hung out here for a while, and then my wife went to give our bath, and she messed up the shower thing. She messed up the like the faucet handle on the shower, which was a problem before, and I changed the. Isn't Tustin the city that shot a homeless man last year? I believe it. They had a whole like shanty town there too, like right by the chili cook-off. It's kind of weird. So yeah, I don't know. Tustin's kind of weird. So she messed up the shower a little bit, right? And so I'm like playing around with the shower, and then that ended up taking up the rest of my evening. Essentially, was troubleshooting the shower. The the cartridge, the valve itself was busted, and I had to go do all this shit and go to the store and come back and watching YouTube videos like how to change the cartridge on your shower. So that was the rest of my evening, and and the cool thing about doing stuff like that is like that's like massive points to your spouse, or at least it is to mine. Like she sees me doing some like man shit around the house. If I'm, fixing something, or but people are going to be so offended that I just gendered the activity that way. Man shit. It is, or it's considered, man shit to fix stuff around the house. Right. So she's like super grateful. She loves it when I do stuff like that. And she's like, well, what do you want? What do you want from me? And I'm like, can I just game? Can I just go out and game? And she's like, yeah, of course you can. See how I was like, I gotta just like make that shit work. But yeah, it feels good too when you figure out how to do stuff like that. I guess I don't know. For me, it does. Like I figured out how to do this like low level plumbing stuff in my house. A good feeling. Yeah, honeydews. Yep, that is exactly it. But yeah, man, that's still bothering me. The whole that Darwin kid. I hope they found that kid. We want to think they did, because we didn't hear any announcements on the PA system. There was no like there was a big to do or anything on that front. So we're hoping. Just saying, hope they. It was creepy too, because I saw earlier just some suspect looking dude, man. I was, kind of sitting on the side of the road there, where the event was, and me and my kids were having a snack, feeding my little baby his bottle, and Octavius was having a little bit of food, and just saw a guy go by that I don't know. I don't know, something about him bothered me. And this was before the whole Darwin thing happened, and I just kind of like went into like a mode of like, okay, what am I going to do if somebody ran by right now and tried to snatch one of my kids? How would I be able to spring up? How would I chase them? Stuff like that. This is a messed up topic, man. But it's my topic. It's what I've decided to talk about tonight. So, um, but yeah, man, you gotta think about stuff like that. And, I don't want to scare my kids either. But I tell them, like, tell my son, no matter what we're doing, he better be within like visibility, and we teach him how to stay, within our line of sight all the time. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man, and it's scary. It is some messed up stuff. So I'm just gonna work a little highlights here and there. So what I'm doing right now is I'm highlighting this light brown up to like a ochre and then a sand color, because it's going to end up being like a non-metallic uh, gold type effect. And then I'm going to use a little olive here. Ooh. This is one issue with Reaper. Whenever you get a new Reaper paint, you got to poke the little nozzle through so that it comes out properly. Not the worst thing, but it can get annoying. Let's finish a couple of these before we call it. Some scary shit though, man. Like, and Mike, I know you're a school teacher. Like, if you've ever had to freak out, like, lost one of your kids or something like that, that is effing scary, man. There's like that poor woman. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we want to believe that the little boy was found and that everything is okay. Hope so. Okay. So we're gonna do a series of like lighter dry brushes. So I'm just using that Iraqi sand and just doing a brush over the model here. Last day of school on Wednesday, kid was trying to walk into traffic. Most people are not paying attention. Jeebus. Yeah, man. That's scary. Like, I got two kids. It's hard enough for me to watch two kids that I love more than anything on planet Earth. Like, that's hard enough. Like, how do you watch like 30 kids that you probably don't love more than anyone else on planet Earth? And I'm sure you are, are very fond of your. I'm sure you would also agree that it's not the same as, um, you know, your flesh and blood, your 24-hour, kid job. That's just scary. My wife, she watches high school kids. It's a little easier in some regards and harder in other regards. So that was my weekend. Hopefully that wasn't too depressing for you guys. But yeah, I don't know. I You got to just uh, be vigilant. You got to, like you said, like I that thing that happened, you know, last 2 Halloweens ago. That freaked me out to the point where it's like, I just don't. I always, make sure I know where the kids are if they're not. The little baby's easy because I just strap him to me, right? But my toddler, I have to teach him how to always stay within eyeshot. And luckily, he's really good at that. Like he's a good, really good kid. So yeah, we're just gonna finish. We're just gonna finish painting a couple of these so that we can see what well, the one thing we won't be able to do tonight is we won't be able to do the work, but I can get her mostly done so that we can see. And then obviously can get done, if not mostly done. Oops. Let's do the green highlights. Well, I'm out later. See ya, Cameron. Thanks for popping in, dude. So, Mike, you still gaming at GMI? Seemed like I noticed on the tabletop page some folks that are looking for games out in that area, like gaming out in the IE. I assume you're still gaming at GMI because they seem to be the last gig in town, right? No Monster. And who the hell knows what's going on with Adventurers Guild at any given time? Man, what a shame. I really liked Adventurers Guild back in the day. Back when the two brothers owned it. Doug and Steve Batabi. Just kidding. Few people will get that reference. Oops, wrong one. No, Mike is Mike has been in the IE for a while. I don't know if he lives in San Bernardino proper. Riverside, that's right. Riverside. I've never lived in Riverside, but I went to school in Riverside, so I'm a UCR alum. One has a spot in my heart. Not a big spot, but I'll tell you what I really like about the 951 and 9 in general is Baker's. I like Baker's. I like Baker's drive-through. It's a delicacy, man. I had to teach my wife about Baker's. From our trips down to the 909. Baker's is bomb. It is, man. Love Baker's. So basically, once these guys are, once I've got good highlights on them, we'll start doing some wash downs. Oops, it was not good. And they'll start to look cool. I mean, they look fairly cool right now, but they're gonna look a lot cooler once we dial them up a little bit. So Cal's about Bakers and In-N-Out. Yeah, did you see this? Uh, the outrage at people rating Five Guys higher than In-N-Out. That's crazy. That is insane. Who the hell likes Five Guys? I remember I went on a work trip down to Florida, and one of my colleagues there, he currently lived in SoCal at the time, but grew up out there and he was talking about Five Guys. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Five Guys Pizza. You guys are, Five Guys Burgers. You guys are gonna love Five Guys." And I kind of looked at him like, "Are you sure, man? Because we got In-N-Out, we got Fuddruckers, we got good burgers. No, that I don't think this Five Guys is gonna be able to hang." He's like, "No, no, no. Five Guys is good, man. You'll see. Five Guys is good." So we go down there. We go to Five Guys. And I'm like, what is this crap? There's just peanuts on the floor, and this is like a subpar burger. Like, this is not a good thing. No, 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 man. Five Guys is good. No, it's not. It's not good. Like, so he was unable to convince us that Five Guys was good. We just weren't feeling the Five Guys. But I will never. If you tell me that Five Guys is um, better than In-N-Out, like, you've lost all credibility to me. I'm sorry. We're just, I'm not even gonna pretend. I'm not even gonna try to be polite about that. Like that, there. Five Guys is objectively worse than In-N-Out. That's just all there is to it. If you're watching this from outside of Southern California and you like Five Guys, that's fine. Go ahead. You can like Five Guys. I'm just saying, if you have been to Southern California and you had In-N-Out Burger and you still claim that Five Guys is better, then that's where that's where you lost me. I don't understand where you're coming from. I don't get it. Okay. So we are going to some turbo wash stuff on these. So I have a fairly nice ink glaze that I'm going to use here on the gold. That'll bring the gold out a little bit. Maybe too much. They almost look. It actually kind of looks like a brass right now. That's fine. not highlight the. I did not highlight it up enough. That's okay. Right. But yeah, I do love Baker's drive-through. I actually these days I have more of the burritos than the burgers over at Baker's. Mm, I'm starving. I did not. Uh, have you been to Addie's? Yeah, I go to Addie's. I try to go once a month because you get if you're in the 5-star program, then they'll send you coupon codes. Like right now, I'm sitting on a 20% coupon code, and I really want to go, and I don't know how I'm going to get down there, but I totally want to go. All right, let's do. So I want to make a wash. Let's do this Agrex Earth Shade. Yeah, I love Addie's, and I love their. They have that rad tasting room now. It's just I love that shop. It's a great shop. Actually, you know what? I want to go down there and use that 20% off on Batman. Damn, Batman. I want to buy. Because paying full price for Batman just hurts my soul. That is an expensive game. So if I can, get any kind of discount on it, yeah, you can't. I agree, Kevin. You can't beat Addie's. They are the best that there is. No, I'm just gonna do this. So that's way too much color. So I'm gonna add it and then desaturate it a little bit. And then you just do the same down here. So believe it or not, I'm going to turn that into, it's going to be more wintry by the time I'm done with it, but that is what we're looking at. I'm going to do this here. I really miss Monstor. Pegasus Hobbies has a small hidden gaming area, and Gameology gaming area mixes card games in, so strong. That's rough. I have never been to Gameology, although everything that I've seen online about from what's his name, Kevin Gaffuri, has impressed me. Seems like a really stand-up guy. So he does seem cool. Okay, maybe I can inks. Need add a little more black ink to this. So basically, it's kind of like what I have is kind of like Agrax Earthshade, except you can like paint it on and off depending on what your needs are. Just painting a little detail on the skull. The way I did that, that is technically a wet blend, but it's because I'm lazy. Being up to Kevin, but I don't really like the dude. How come you don't like the dude? Is it because his name is also Kevin and you're supposed to be the Kevin? I need to know. Dang. I don't know too many people that you don't like. So this is fairly significant if you don't like somebody. This is the reason. Okay. So now make this more of, so this is going to end up being more of like an umber ink wash. That's a really rich wash. Yeah, I want to know what is the reason? Because it's like shocking to me that you don't like a person. It's weird. That would not be weird for me. Like it's, there's a person I don't like. That means it's like it's a Sunday. We were hanging out one time and he says, "I don't like anime. I'm an adult. I don't watch cartoons." Oh shit! I guess Cameron would have an issue with this guy too. I watch anime. I don't give a shit. I would just, if I was there, I'd be like, "Yeah, I watch anime. What are you gonna do?" I'm still an adult. So now I get it. Now it that makes sense to me. Though I myself have uh, don't like anime much, but I let them live. It's fine. They can wallow in their not goodness. See how cool that is? I just get the shadow in there and then just come back with it like damp. Come back with the brush damp and then it fixes it. So like watch, I'll just do this whole thing just so you can see. Right? I'm just gonna do this whole. See how lazy I am? Just do the whole thing like that. Right? And like that. Let's say I don't like it. It's like way too much on this bone, right? I basically just start to brush it back. Right? And you can just apply it where you want it. Love that about an ink glaze like that. You can just make it look like how you want it to look, and then it'll dry like that. You just give it enough time to do it. Don't let it pull anywhere. You're good. Dang. Sacred ground for you, man. If you did, this guy's like talking shit about anime. By the way, are you watching? I have one episode left of Berserk season 2 to watch. And while the animation itself kind of drove me insane, I am back. Like I am hooked on Berserk again because of that. It's been a pretty good season for Berserk, and I'm just glad it's back. I like everybody else, I do wish that they could be bothered to put present it in a reasonable 2D animated format. I mean, it is Berserk, is one of the best, like most beloved franchises in manga history. They could be bothered to make a decent anime series out of it, right? But what do I know? My knee jerk was, motherfucker, you own a gaming store and you have that kind of mentality. That's funny. That's true. I mean, I'm an adult. I don't do that. Well, you own a gaming store. I mean, that's, to some people, that, like you said, to some people, that's, or like you're implying, that's a somewhat juvenile career choice, right? Own a gaming store, own a comic book store. Juvenile to the outside world. I mean, to us, it's not. It's just, oh, cool. You don't, this is a life choice you're making. You don't need to make, you're not looking to make crazy amounts of money working, climbing the corporate ladders or anything like that. You just, this is what you want to do and you're doing it. Cool, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's not the most business. But I mean, and I don't mean that as a judgment. I mean, that's just a reality. Like you, you can go into law, or you can, try to, I don't know, trade stocks or sell things. Like there are other ways to make money that are, technically, or not technically, that are more lucrative. But I'm not going to judge you because you chose a different. You chose not to do that for your career. But some people do. Like some people will look at you weird because you didn't just go for like crazy amounts of money. I think it's one thing that like Gen Xers have been there. It's considered a hallmark of us Gen Xers is that we apparently we have the best work-life balance of all the, like we make enough money to be responsible adults and all that stuff, but we also don't like grub after money as hard as the boomers did. I don't know. And I don't know if that's good or bad. It's just different. And that's one of the things that was pointed out that's different about boomers. I mean, not boomers, Gen Xers, is that, it's not pursued some dreams. We didn't all think we were going to be, rock stars or multimillionaires or anything. We pursued dreams that, some people may have say kind of undersold us, but at the same time, they were realistic dreams, you know. Okay, man, that was cool. These guys are basically done. Let's uh, let's paint their bases in, and then I'll work on the snow basing and all that stuff tomorrow night. Take pictures of them. I'll post them on social media. You guys can come check these out, and then I will get them out to my client. And while I'm painting in those bases, see, I got to do young Theron too, because that's part of this commission. Was he wanted me to paint young Theron, and this is the deep green that I based the rest of his team in, so everything will match nicely. Should all be pretty good. And I guess I don't know. I'm serious. I may start painting Watchmen this week. Can't believe Batman is back on the menu for me. But these were fun to paint. They were cool. And I'm glad it was a nice little weekend project I could knock out. Uh, Make a little bit of a profit off. And somebody who's now rocking a full Hunter's team. I'll paint Watchmen and I'll paint, I don't know. Eventually I'll get back to painting those X-Men. But I'll just paint those. I'll paint those to a reasonable standard and then just drop them on eBay and see what they make. I don't even really care what they net. So I'll start them off pretty low and just see who bites, who's interested. Okay. So I get some like winter plants or something, and I'll put a little snow on these bases. So hopefully you guys gain some decent ground on your projects as well. But yeah, I think these came along pretty well. I better tell my client what my final charge is for these. But it's not going to be much because the this set's only $40, and then uh, then that limited edition Theron, I think he was only like 22 or something. when he was out. So it's not that much. All right. Make sure my brushes have nice points on them. So with that, I think we are going to draw our little feed here to a close, everybody. Pretty fun, nice, quiet, relaxing evening. Want to thank everybody who tuned in and commented and just talked the mess with us while we did a little bit of painting. What I totally forgot to do, what I should have done tonight, is since we had people that I knew were painting, if you do have a camera set up, I could have just tossed you a invite to the Google Hangout. So next time, or actually I'll just say this offer is valid anytime. Any point you want to hop on the Hangout and you are painting, or you have something cool to say, or I should say, you have a topic that you like to discuss, let me know and I'll throw you an invite. What I don't want to do is, like, there were some people that they just wanted to be invited to the stream and they had nothing to say or weren't painting anything, and it was like, well, not really adding anything. But anyway, let me give you guys one final glimpse here while stuff is drying so that you can see. So here is snow. You see, looking pretty good. The base lips still look terrible, but you get it. There's Theron. Do a little bit more highlighting on Theron here. You can see he looks. I think they're all looking pretty good. And then you got American Dad. There's American Dad the Hunter. Actually, his name is Ulfer, but he's super. I think this is like one of my favorite miniatures right now. This guy, he's amazing. And then you got also pretty cool miniature, but Ulfer is still awesome. All right, so that's going to do it for this video. Want to thank everybody for watching. Have a good night, guys, and we will catch you on the next one.